You know, if you know the lingo of any discipline, you learn that discipline. And so I had to learn the lingo of libraries. Well, I found it to be a bit odd at first because I was used to working in, you know, record stores where music was going all the time, where you had all these crazy people coming in and calling up, and you know, it was very, very much a change for me. It took me a while to adapt to it.
When they first opened it up, I was there to help unpack the boxes the first time. Most of it was 78s, and it was just small room, more records than the room would really hold, and not really sure of what direction it was going to take.
Recordings are very heavy. Sound recordings are heavy, particularly when you have a concentration of them. The building was beginning to crack, and the catalogers below were getting a little nervous. So when they expanded the Miller-Nichols library, we moved to the ground floor, which is on bedrock, limestone bedrock. We got more space, and that allowed us to grow, really. I always say that I don't collect records, I collect collectors. They call me up to take care of their collections because it's their children.
It's like Christmas morning.
You open the boxes to see what kind of prize is inside. If one likes Kinks records, and suddenly there's the original mono of that thing that you've only heard about and haven't had a chance to listen to, it's quite a thrill in its own self. It's almost like it's not that it's yours, but it's ours.
I can't even list all the people that they talk about. They flip through them, and it's like, this is really rare. I mean, I can't believe we have this. And Charlie can go through and just pull things out and say, well, we've got this, we've got this, we've got this.
When I started collecting records, it was with a need to acquire that hasn't quit. And it's much like any other addiction that one gets. Records have always been extremely close and personal to me. When one has a CD, you stick it in the slot and it disappears. But when you put it on a turntable and you've got this, what about the record that they've chosen, and you can sit there and read it and see the pictures that they've chosen to give you with that give it some kind of extra context, something that's lost on CDs.
I mean, they're little snippets of history. It's something that you're not going to get back.
Irving Berlin observed that music is a reflection of the society that produced it.
You don't just remember that song, you remember those grandparents, that spot, that occasion, that trip. If there's not a place that has these things, they'll just be lost from sight, and no one will have knowledge of them. I mean, it truly will just be lost to reality.
The Mars Sound Archive has become one of the Miller-Nichols Library's flagship collections. I don't do program, I'm a collections person because collections endure. Programs are posters on the wall. And I want people to look at this as a research collection, not just a room full of records, because it's been assembled as a research collection. I'd say the future's bright for the Sound Archives. I was a student of Gaylord Mars. I took a couple of classes from him. And it was his history of media classes. And it's kind of funny, I wrote a paper on the music of World War II and how the music changed over the course of the war. When I turned it in, Gaylord said, you know, you could do more than this. You know, you could do more with this topic. And I said, yeah, sure, if I had your collection.